Alright, so this is the wrap-up episode. So, Ollie, can you rap?
Can I rap?
Because it's a pun, get it? Because, yeah.
Can I rap? Yo, here we go. It's the rap like attack. Get back while I spit the rap. Oh no! Oh no! Here it comes, my ravenous flow. It's gonna.
Stop. You could have just said no. You can't.
Hello and welcome to NPCs of
we're still recording.
Tal'Dorei. This is pretty much the last NPCs of Tal'Dorei that we'll do. Now becomes NPCs.
We're doing the recaps when we go back in time. Remember when the one?
Oh, is that going to be cool? Oh, right, yeah. So it's
I'm not going to rename those.
It's the first.
It's the last in
for
the
a while.
chronological history of Critical Role.
Yeah, but we made the promise on this channel. Every time they do a one shot, we go back and review an older, original episode of Critical Role. So there'll still be NPCs of Tal'Dorei there.
I think we're up to number 10.
Yeah.
So number 11 will be the next one.
Yeah, we actually made double digits. While they did 400 one shots over the Christmas break.
Yeah, then we were like, no more.
But this is talking about the wrap-up of the entire campaign that was Vox Machina set in Tal'Dorei. I was actually just reading the Tal'Dorei campaign setting book because our live stream games start up tomorrow, and I'm still tinkering around with a few things.
We did a one part before they did the Q&A and the surprising Fireplace one, which came out of nowhere. Fireside. So this one is kind of us what we discovered during the during the wrap up and the Fireside, and pretty much we can't go over every single thing that was asked or quoted or anything. Because
we could, but then we'd just be pretty much just playing.
If you combine the two videos together, it's a 5-hour thing. I'm going for every question, analysing their answers to the question. It's got to be a very long video.
Yeah. So I said we're just going to talk about things that stuck out for us, key moments, and then we'll just go over what Vox Machina meant to us, kind of thing. What our favourite moments were throughout the series.
You're always trying to get me to go deeper meaning.
I am. I really am.
He does this all the time. He's like, we should talk about what it really means to us.
We should talk about our feelings. Just open up to me, Dave. Just open up.
No. Anyway, so we'll go through points that we discovered, things that we found out.
Yeah. So can I start? Because I probably have less than you, so if I start, that's good. So I did find out during the Fireside that Grog, for his Travis, that's going to be tricky. That's like writing 2017 on all your checks. Travis is playing a character who has at least 3 single-digit stats.
I'm stunned that you still say people use checks still.
I couldn't think of anything more relevant.
I'm not even listening to you. I'm like, when have you ever written a check?
Okay, so I've never actually written a check outside of the comms that I ran at the nunnery in Uzbekistan. But essentially, Travis, he revealed that he's rolled 3 stats, single digit, for his new character.
His new one.
So poor Travis. Just don't. I'm sure his dump
He plays
stats,
off it though.
Yeah.
But in terms of the old campaign, probably one of the biggest surprises for me was finding out that Pike was in love with Percy, because there's a really cool moment between Scalan and Pike, and it's got to do with the letter. Because we find out about the letter as well. We get the whole paragraph of what the letter actually is.
Yeah.
Which there's another point in there I want to go over.
Sure.
But we find Pike says a line of dialogue when they're interacting. It's like, well, I do love somebody else very much.
Yeah.
And there's always been a mystery who that was, whether it was an NPC, whether it was someone part of the cast.
I think some people theorised that it was Tyrion Darrington.
Well, I think this was before Tyrion Darrington too.
Well, I mean, that will,
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just analyst daving all over it. But yeah, and it turns out it was Percy. Because everyone loves Percy.
Yeah, he's quite
Tyrion Darrington, Vex, Keyleth at one time.
So that kind of sent a stir through the critic community as new kind of fan art was created, and just rumours and Twitters. It was nice.
Well, that'd be what's Pike and Percy? It's already Perky. Picey.
That works.
Picey, that works. But yeah, that was a big surprise for me. That came. I think a lot of people already knew there was hints and stuff, but this is I think the first time I've actually heard it from their mouths.
Yeah,
without it being a Q&A or something. So that was really cool to find out.
Because I did find that, Pike had the Scalan thing where there was that kind of back and forth, will they, won't they, throughout the entire campaign.
It was more kind of like he wanted to and she was like, nah.
Well, yeah. I suppose
it's not will they, won't they. He wanted it.
Yeah.
She was like, you go to brothels a lot, mate.
yeah, Grog and Scalan are
I'm pretty
notorious.
sure Scalan went by himself once in a while.
Probably.
Yeah, he doesn't always need Grog to
hold
his hand.
But then, Pike never really had an immediate love interest throughout Vox Machina, so yeah, that was kind of nice to find at the end.
Well, neither did I guess Grog, because we find out the nymph that he never slept with the nymph.
Yeah. And the string of whores, which is kind of romantic, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. But going back to the letter, because we're on the same topic.
Correct.
So Sam, who plays Scalan, read out the letter that he gave that from the infamous clip. Actually, we'll put a link to a video down below of the actual clip that I'm referring to.
It was actually kind of, I thought it was quite beautiful.
It was really good, because at first, like, he gives the letter and she opens it straight away without his knowledge, and then she confesses
that she read it with, because what was the provision? It was after he dies.
After he dies,
yeah.
Because it was worded in a way like he died.
Yeah.
And this is like carrying on. So in the letter he says to look after Kaylee, which he does discover, but also it's stated his age at that time on that letter. So this whole time, Pike actually knew how old he was.
That's interesting, because that was quite a big reveal at the end. They always thought he was younger in terms of knowledge.
And obviously Laura wasn't listening, because like when they read the letter, it's like, oh, but you said in the wrap up you're 49. Like, no, I said it was 70 at that point.
69, because he started when he was
69,
of course.
Yeah.
Scalan.
But basically this whole thing was about cut content, if you look at it from Matt's point of view. Like what stuff they didn't go through.
Yeah.
Like the Underdark arc, which we're just recently doing the catch-up episode. We're going through that arc at the moment. We're finding out there's a lot of cut content, a lot of different things. They could have gone to a different realm at one point. But that's what comes with D&D.
I know.
Just don't go that way.
If you're playing a campaign that is too railroaded, you might be able to get through everything that you've written, but it'll be less fun for the players. But as a DM, there's huge parts, sometimes they just
diverge. And everyone knows that. You're going through that experience, and any player's probably always gone, I wonder what happened if I went that way.
Yeah.
The DM sometimes can tell you, or don't tell, because they want to hold that off and pop it somewhere else.
In fact, most of the fan questions that were posed to Vox Machina and Matt Mercer throughout the Fireside episode were really specific things about the plot lines and what could have happened if this hadn't happened, what could have happened if they hadn't done this. Yeah, a lot of what if kind of thing.
And a lot of recapping of NPCs, what happened, like Gilmore.
Yeah.
Kind of lives happily ever after, goes for a bit of trouble. But I think there was a lot being held back as well due to the fact that it's still 20 years.
Yeah.
And I don't think they wanted to go too far ahead. They kind of played with like what the 5 kids' names are with Vex. Oh, Vex, sorry. Vex and Percy. And things like that, but I feel like they're being vague for a reason, so it'll be interesting.
I was actually quite amazed at how much of this information Matt just has in his head. Like I was saying, like what happened with the clasp, like what was the storyline behind some of these members of the clasp, and he's just like, oh, this is the exact kind of. And I'm like, how do you contain an entire?
He's a creator. And especially how he's a voice actor with all these so many different famous roles.
Yeah.
He's had experience in different stories and how they're told, so he can kind of like create his own thing with taking elements of stuff he's done before.
The sheer number, every time a question came to him, like in Whiterun, we did meet this NPC briefly, what would have happened if, and he's like, oh, I know exactly, I was like, far out, man.
And what happened to the wish guy, that Grog?
Oh, gave the card from the deck of many things that turned out to be the wish card.
And he never uses the wish because he doesn't know what to do with it. But whether it may come back again, because 20 years is not a long time.
And wish is a ridiculously powerful.
What is a long time? 20 years ago I was 10.
I was 18.
Yeah. Well, young.
Wait, no, I was 8. I can't do maths.
You're 8. So
I'm 38.
Yeah, 38. Yeah.
So glad it's on
so I put up for a few tidbits that I discovered as I go through.
Yep.
So we also had the guest characters come on for a bit of Q&A.
Yeah, in the middle when the rest of Vox Machina was kind of taking a break, all the guest players, the most common guest players.
I guess
multiple.
I honestly think they just said, all right, who's around the Geek and Sundry office? Or
we also get the oh god, what's his name? I'm blanking on his name. The guy in the robe.
The guy in the robe?
With the glass of wine. The guy reading the questions.
Brian
Foster.
Foster.
I don't know why that blanked there. We get to see his feet.
You know what Vox Machina are like, do you? Yeah. Anyway, so let's go over, let's say all those guest characters.
Yeah.
They gave a good perspective about their nerves and what they go through before popping on.
Yep.
And they're kind of paranoid about screwing things up for the team.
Yeah.
But one tidbit, not really relevant to the campaign at all, but Darren DePaul, who played Sprig, played D&D with Matt's mum. I just found that funny.
I'd love to meet Matt's mum, the person that raised the greatest DM of our generation. I'd love to play in that game.
I don't know if I want to meet, because the most brilliant and creative and and thoughtful people typically come from tortured pasts.
Well, we don't know. We have no idea. We're just kind of speculating.
Yeah, I don't know. She's probably pleasant.
Yeah.
But
Another thing they kind of talked about for some of them, because they've never played D&D before, and I'm just thinking, imagine Critical Role as being your first Dungeons & Dragons experience, and then I suppose you might even go away from that thinking, oh, that's what D&D's like. It's this level kind of thing.
not.
It can't be.
Yeah, and I think Matt does, there's a lot of Q&As, face-to-face Q&As at conventions that Matt makes a point to say they're actors. They're professional actors. They have timing, they have better stuff that you would find in your regular game. Doesn't mean your regular game won't be fun.
No, it just means that you can't expect Critical Role from every campaign that you play, kind of thing. Not only that, they played for like a year and a half before they even started streaming.
And they're good friends as well.
Yeah.
I mean, we barely like each other on our ones. Anyway.
Friendly rivalries, I'd say. Yeah.
So Tyrion Darrington, we found out he was only supposed to be a temporary character. Yep. He was only going to be for a few sessions.
Because, remember, Tyrion Darrington came about as the alternate character if Scalan was not be able to res. Now, I don't know if Sam Riegel had a couple of characters in mind if it was going to be a new permanent character. Scalan dies, he needs a new one. I don't think Tyrion Darrington was supposed to be that.
No.
But I do think that when Sam was creating alternate characters, he created Tyrion Darrington and said to Matt, hey,
just use them as a filler, basically.
Can I just kind of play this for a little bit because it sounds really, really fun?
Yeah.
And you remember Doty, who was essentially a very simple robot that could write things down. That was basically all he really did. Yeah, exactly. But then I think once Scalan...
It's like people don't know what write down means, so I might
just
show
remind it, yeah. Pander to our audience. So Scalan essentially, I think, after playing Tyrion Darrington, which I'm sure he intended to be, as they said, a couple of episodes, thought, oh my god, this is actually really fun. I've got this whole noble thing that no one knows about. They don't know that I'm completely lying about my nobility, well, my wealth, at least.
And he had many layers. He had confused sexuality. He was just coming out as knowing his sexuality.
So I think Sam had so much fun playing with him that they ended up having Tyrion Darrington as a longer character. I think that's why.
I was talking about sexuality and you said playing with him, and I found that funny.
I'll edit that bit out.
I'm editing it.
Okay, well, you have to edit.
I'm not editing that. Anyway, so, anything else you want to say about Terry? So I'm just going to throw out some more points. And
I love you, Terry. Oh my god, and it's, 2 days until the new arc starts. Sorry, I just remembered that.
We'll say that at the end.
Yeah, sorry.
Come down. Sorry. So in the Feywild, we find out what happens if you go to the theatre and get caught. Your soul gets trapped and you have to be at the theatre forever.
Kind of like Kazakhstan in World of Warcraft. I butchered the pronunciation of that name. Continue.
Kazakhstan?
Yeah, Kazakhstan. Yeah.
That's a country.
No, wait. Karanzano.
Yeah, the one with Medivh,
the one that they dropped to spear, the weapon that I want for my transmog, but I've run it 30,000 times.
This isn't a WoW channel.
I still haven't got it. Sorry.
This isn't a WoW channel. Anyway, one thing that I thought Matt knew about, but we found out that he didn't know, he kind of pieced everything together in the moment, was the wish at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Matt had been asked by Sam, what can the wish do? So Matt was kind of had a theory of what was he planning, all that, but it was not until that moment that Matt kind of pieced everything together of what Sam was actually intending.
Yeah.
Which I thought Matt knew the whole time.
Yeah. I think we talked about this on another video, the moment at which...
I think we talked about on the recap of the episode.
Yeah. When Matt kind of saw that Scalan was using Wish to fight Vecna and not, in fact, to save Liam.
Yeah.
When I think the rest of the cast, we talked about this, the rest of the class clicked onto it pretty soon, and then Matt kind of got it a bit later, and you saw the moment of realization dawn across his face.
There's good gifs of it.
Yeah.
But that was interesting, because I thought he would have known the whole time. But
yeah.
I thought that shock realization was him realizing that Sam had given up on that plan. So it was like, oh, you've given up, but it was actually Matt piecing all the pieces together.
Yeah.
He may have a lot in his head. He doesn't know everything.
I mean, Wish is probably the most powerful, and you can throw theories at me if you wish, but I would say that's probably one of the most powerful spells that you have in your arsenal at all. It comes in the deck of many things. I don't know if it's in the Harrow deck of Pathfinder, which is pretty much the deck of many things, except it's split into 1/3 of the cards are good, 1/3 are neutral, 1/3 are evil.
It's got the deck of many a lot of things.
It's
just slightly different.
The deck of much things.
Much things.
Which I think actually is more balanced than the deck of many things, which kind of does not have that rigid symmetry.
Also, as a DM with the deck of many things, you can change what each card means.
You could,
if you've got the time to do it. And the Dickerman things is that there's like, just like all the like campaign guides and everything, it's only a guide.
Yeah.
It's only just to say, these are kind of like, this is the setup. You can either go verbatim, or you can twist it. So
this is why, even though I run homebrew campaigns, I still love reading the pre-generated campaign books, because you kind of go through and you go like, holy crap, I can take that, change it, and put it in there.
Yeah, that's part of the fun, D&D.
Yeah. Anyway, continue. Oh, that's your phone. We're going to pause this recording while he answers his phone.
So my phone rang.
Yeah.
And we paused it.
Because it was an important call.
And it was long enough that we forgot what we were talking about.
Literally no idea. So,
Critical Role.
Yeah, something about that, I think.
Anyway, so I'll move on to the next point. I'm not sure what we're talking about. I do apologise if you're really in depth with that conversation. Just put it in the comments below.
Not going to happen.
Adding into it. No, they can do it. What do you mean it's not going to happen? They could do it.
No, I mean they're not going to be engaged in that conversation.
You're making a joke.
Yeah. Obviously not a good one.
Anyway.
Anywho.
Yes.
Back to the role. So,
there's a doppelganger of Vex in the world.
Yeah. This was really interesting. So essentially Vex had a stalker in the campaign that she never really realised was a stalker. This NPC kind of fell in love with her and was obsessed with her. And yeah, eventually, how did he become her? I can't remember. There was
I can't remember.
It was like an arcade.
All I remember, I only caught the end of the conversation. And I was just like, "Wait a second, what?" And I try to recall what happened. But basically, the long and the short of it, there's a doppelganger in the world that looks like Vex.
Yeah.
I'm guessing she's like a clone or some kind of like a copy.
Man, I wish I'd written it down.
It was probably from a spell.
Yeah.
And Matt makes it clear that Vex doesn't know this person exists.
Yep.
And this person is still in the world.
So Laura knows, Vex doesn't, and somewhere in the world there's a doppelganger of Vex.
I so wanted to pop in Wildemount. It's like, and then you see this elf girl.
Yeah.
And it just turns out like a 20-year-old non-Vex.
It'll be
not Vex.
That'll be that scene from the second season of Doctor Who. What am I doing there? What am I doing there? What am I doing there? You know, Mickey, when Mickey meets Ricky in season 2, Doctor Who.
That voice was just like very kind of...
I'm not a voice actor.
What are you doing there? You sound like Batman.
Okay, well maybe
Bane.
It's like crossover, like Batman and
Where's Rachel? Where is she?
It's bigger on the inside. Anyway,
have you seen Doctor? One, they're British.
So, complete derailment aside.
It's bigger on the inside.
Oh my god. Anyway, yeah, so those are that's some stuff we learned from Fireside, Vox Machina, and the last couple of videos that Geek and Sundry's put out on the topic of Vox Machina.
Just little tidbits we've learned.
Yeah. My favourite was that Grog's new character has 3 stats that are single digit.
I like it. The one thing that the favourite thing has got nothing to do about the old campaign.
Well, see, the rest of my notes are just, I love Brian Foster. I love Matthew Mercer. Man, I wish I was in Matt Mercer's lap right now. Why is Brian... And we won't go any further. But essentially... That's some stuff we learned about.
We're going down a weird path here.
That's what we do. That's our show, man.
It's not like... Okay,
anywho,
there is a serious problem with sexual harassment. Do not sexually harass Matthew Mercer or Brian Foster if you ever meet them.
No promises. Anyway, stuff that we're talking about for the new story arc, the new campaign, which starts in 2 days, which we're very, very excited about. I will not be taking any shifts at work. I'm kind of torn because I want the money, but then I'm just like, I also want to watch it live because it's the first.
I won't be watching it live because I've got things to do.
Oh, Mister, I have a life outside of NPCs of Tal'Dorei. Anyway, so interesting stuff that we know is the silhouette, which we talked about in the last video. We know
if you want to know everything we know, we should tell them to watch the other videos instead of going. Do you want to just make another?
I'm just freestyling this crap.
Yeah.
And we already proved
if you want to watch our theories, our predictions, our thoughts,
and stuff we found out on Reddit.
Yes, go back and watch our other 2, the speculation and prediction video.
Yeah.
And obviously next week we'll be back with the first episode of the new campaign.
Which the reviews will be called NPCs of Wildemount, because that's where we've theorised they'll spend some of their time.
Theorised, I stated it.
Well, they're going to start there. We don't know if they're going to stay there.
But it's like Tal'Dorei, like the NPCs of Tal'Dorei, they didn't stay in Tal'Dorei.
Yeah. So, back to Exandria for a new story starting level 2, 2.5-ish, according to what they've said online.
Have they said it, or has it been theorised?
No, I'm pretty sure Matt Mercer at some point said they're starting middle way through level 2. We'll see in 2 days. But new characters, roll, low level, we get to see them, I assume, meet. I assume they're not going to start all together. It's going to be really fun. And yeah, thank you guys so much for the
We're kind of running out of steam at the end there.
See, my coffee is empty. That's the problem.
Well, I don't have any. But yeah, thanks to everyone for watching, and hopefully you're on board with us for the next round of reviews that we're going to be doing for Critical Role. Make sure if you've got time, if you kind of like us bantering, we do have a podcast. It's called D20 Afterhours. Comes out every Monday.
Yep.
We also have our own D&D games that we run.
Black Winter Nights and Eyes of Elisia.
Ollie's the DM for Black Winter Nights. I'm in the background and once in a while fill in emergency lights.
When we get a player that cancels 15 minutes before we go live, we're just like, I throw a character sheet at Dave and be like, you're playing this?
Yeah. And he's like, right. But I play in the Sunday game as well.
Yeah.
And obviously Ollie DMs. We'll be doing reviews on Wednesday. And Dragon Tavern, which we release every Friday, which we'll try to release every Friday, will be about us tackling something in the D&D world.
Yeah, Dragon Tavern, we just talk about all things D&D, the movies, the games, the cartoons, and we've actually had some cool requests from people on our YouTube page that have said, hey, review this for Dragon Tavern, so we're just making our way through those.
If you want to be part of that, join the Discord.
Yes, because we chat with those guys. I have it open all the time now. I didn't used to, but it's always open on one of my monsters.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. If I ever want you to do things, just hit it up.
Every day, just hammer it into my hand.
Well, pretty much mention it, and then if you ignore it, make fun of you because of it, and then eventually you do it.
No.
You did the notebook thing. I bought him 3 notebooks to use, 2 for our live stream, 1 for the D20 stuff. He never used them until I just made fun of him to it. Now he uses them.
And now that's how this whole thing works. You come up with the ideas, I do fuck all.
No, I come up with the ideas, tell you, and you're like, yeah, okay, alright.
Sweet,
I give you the material for those ideas, you're like, alright.
Yeah.
And then you don't do it, and I'm like, Ollie.
Yeah. Basically, we just need a cattle prod or something to get me out of my chair. But anyway, we're rambling. Thanks, guys, for supporting the channel. We've just surpassed 200 subscribers on YouTube, and then in the last 3 days, we've got sub. And if you haven't subbed and you want to make us smile in the morning when we check our statistics, then please do sub to us, because it really does make our lives go round. And thank you for watching the D20 Multiverse. New content every couple of days, every single week. Isn't that just a little bit sad?
Kind of is. The whole thing just made me really sad.
You don't have to leave in the bit where I do the peace sign.
I wasn't going to. I was torn between okay, one, you didn't make it relevant at all. You just said rap a lot.
You fucking try and rhyme Tal'Dorei.
Well, Critical Role. Virtual hole.
I didn't... Hello. This got schooled right there. Yeah.